lot of my funds into Greenland. Now I'm trying to teach the Greenland community about the ecosystem, so it's a pleasure to meet you.
Cool. Yeah, likewise. Did you have some question?
Yeah, I mean, so I know you just came out with Dibs and royalty, and I'm playing around with Dibs. I don't know if every liquidity pool I've created has actually been whitelisted, but is there kind of like a new token coming out, like a larger vision for Dibs, or is Dibs the end token?
So there's a concept of a cap and trade system. I think I have all of the questions answered for it. It's more a matter of how it's going to be implemented and whether it's going to be successful in a good way, like whether it's going to be an additive to the system.
Right.
Because it's got so much more connection to real finance, like the bar for getting it past the filter is a lot more difficult. Yeah, I think it's either gonna help to stall my feeling that more tokens need to be created, or it's gonna pass the filter and be like this whole new thing that hopefully drives the layer 2 to be like more of like the foundation for how the initial involvements with the layer 2 are going to be. Because when I think of the Dysnomia project, the goal is building a planet, essentially. And so if the cap and trade system can be designed to mimic these same organic structures of how one piece grows into the next piece, and control of the initial planet world becomes based on the initial investments in this cap and trade puzzle. It could work out really interesting. It could completely stall out.
Right.
Yeah, I posted on the chat log about the next goal being to implement the Cetus constellation, which is going to be like a spoke Cartesian plane is all it is. It's really simple. But if I can get an RCS system on chain that's going to control central revisioning of a bunch of libraries that power the cap and trade system, so that any cap and trade tokens that I create have these like upgradable single set of libraries behind all of the tokens, then that's going to feed how the layer 2 will develop. And the initial concept of Cetus is its growth and decay. So all of the growth functions are going to be the initial on-chain cap and trade tokens. All of the decay functions are going to lead into what will next happen on the layer 2, which I have all the math worked out, but I don't yet know what's going to make it a requirement, like how it's going to solve anything that is interesting to anybody. So if I can find that, like what accomplishment it will be, we'll move forward on that. Otherwise it'll just be more of the same.
Right. So is there any, I guess, timeline for layer 2?
Not particularly. There was an initial timeline for doing like a chat log, moving from the IRC to something that was distributedly hosted. I'm still gauging the value add on that, and so as there's more value add, more development will be done there. As there's less value add, at the moment it'll still be looking at how to implement these traditional financial structures more, and how to get our assets on Pulsechain such that we can show that we're better than everybody else.
Right. Okay. And I'm actually a holder of, HAR, so I own one HAR, but I don't see the incentive to actually go ahead with the mint for a JP9. Can you just give me like a quick pitch on JP9? Because right now I'm not seeing the incentive.
Yeah. So I hold one of those tokens currently. At some point, I will be using that token in a liquidity placement and buyback function, and the price on the JP9 token will go up a lot. So if your goal is to exploit when that's going to occur, then it's worth holding one of those. Yeah. And
the 41 HAR that you currently hold, that I think you mentioned that it's for, I don't think you specifically mentioned what it was for, but
there's no direct use case for those yet. There's a good chance that a large portion of that will either go on. It's hard to say. The goal is to make it so nobody else can mint a writing token. Because in my perspective, if there's 2 writing tokens minted, then that erodes my control on the whole system. And so the goal is to find some long-term way of reducing my balance of HAR without increasing the ability to mint writing. And as long as there's no clear way for me to do that, I'll just be holding.
And how much HAR is required for one writing?
I think 7, if I recall.
Okay. Yeah, that would be pretty difficult at this point for anybody to acquire that much.
Yeah. I was looking at one point at minting a second one, and yeah, it didn't pass. But yeah.
Very cool. Well, I'm excited. I look forward to continuing to read the Sheila Jackson Lees and the rest of the stuff that comes through the chat log. And it's just been a great journey to follow through, and I feel like we're super early to something that's going to be massive.
I think we'll do well. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for the time.